How's it going, lads and lasses? Today we've got the new McFarlane Toys Classic Doom Guy figure. This is the gold label version. The original release was, of course, the classic green color, and this is the red color. There isn't too much different with this figure, just really the paint, but we're going to go ahead and get into it anyways, so let's take a look. So we've got some nice detail on this figure. I really like the paint app. There's, this kind of subtle weathering all across the red here. I believe that the boots and the gloves are the same color as the original figure. I'd imagine that they kept those parts the same. There's no real reason to change them. So let's look at that articulation we have on the neck. It should be articulated in two places. One at the base of the head, I guess what you would call it, and then one that goes into the neck. That gives you pretty good range there. It is a bit jumpy. You can tell there. It's not quite a smooth movement, but it's still pretty good. Shoulder does have a really smooth movement though. That just kicks out there. And then that can rotate full 360. Still have just the single jointed elbow like the first one. Well, the articulation's just like the first one. So, and it twists right there at the bicep. Hand swivels back and forth like that. And it also does a full 360 twist. You got a pretty good ab crunch here because it's articulated both there and right where it goes into the hips. So, nice range of motion. He can do full splits, and he kicks out about that far. And there's rotation right there. Just a single jointed knee, and it rotates at the shin. Foot swivels back and forth, and it has that Marvel Legends style angled rotation, angled rocking, but it doesn't rotate there. And then of course on the shoulder cannon you have the ball joint right here, and then it swivels and it rotates here, and it can even pop out if you wanted to go full classic. So nothing spectacular for accessories. We have the super shotgun again, and the wrist blade again. That of course pops onto his left arm right here. And of course he comes with the little McFarlane disc stand. It just says Doom on it. It's nothing special. I just throw them out at this point. They don't really serve much of a purpose. Okay, so we've checked out the articulation, the detail, the accessories. What are my overall thoughts for this figure? I'm pretty happy with it. There's not much to complain about. Like I said, the detail's really nice. I like the paint job. I'm glad that we got the red one, because the green one's cool, but the red's my favorite. And if we don't get any more of the classic Doom guy, I'm happy we at least got the red one. Articulation, McFarlane keeps getting better and better with their articulation. I've said it in past videos where when they kind of started doing this 7-inch line, they were basically going back to the statues that they were doing before, and slowly but surely they've gotten better and better. This is miles better than the Doomslayer, the original figure release. It makes me wish that they would actually redo that figure, because the articulation on that is so stiff and just bad. But this is actually really good. The reason why I collect action figures over statues is the fun aspect of doing the poses. And if it's not fun to pose it, then why even have it as an action figure is how I say it. It should be fun to create all the different poses. It shouldn't feel like a pain in the ass. And this one is pretty fun to pose. A lot of the joints are just really smooth. That being said, it's of course not a perfect figure. What I would have liked to see is double jointed elbows, rotation at the ankles, aside from the ankle rockers, like a 360 rotation, maybe some double jointed knees. But that's all they'd really... Oh, one other thing is being able to move the shoulder cannon so that it rests on the back like it does in game when you're not using it. All it would need is a little swivel right at the base where the ball joint is that connects the actual cannon itself to the arm. And I've actually, on some of my Doomslayer figures, I've customized it so it has that little swivel, just using small joints from action figures I don't particularly need anymore. So those are really the only things that I would improve as far as articulation goes. Where it really needs improvement, though, is the accessories, and that is my major complaint. And it's something I complained about in the last video, too. With each Doomslayer figure, the classic Doom Guy versions included, the only weapon they've really included is the Super Shotgun, with the exception of the QuakeCon version, which came with the Crucible Sword. And that's the only one that's come with a different weapon so far. I get that they want to get the most out of the tooling that they can, but you've done like 8 Doomslayer figures. They've all used the Super Shotgun. I think you've gotten some good mileage out of it. It's time to give us something else. He has this huge arsenal. One thing that I think would be really cool is they've done this with Spawn where they've done just a weapon pack, because Spawn, he'll have just a huge arsenal of weapons too. I think that's what they should do, is make a Doomslayer arsenal pack, and that'd be pretty awesome. I know that those accessory packs tend to not sell as well. At least from what I've heard, they don't sell as well as action figures, so it's harder to recoup your money on that. But if they're trying it with Spawn, they could at least try it once with Doom. And I think that would solve a lot of the issues with this, because I want more weapons in the damn Super Shotgun. The Super Shotgun's cool, but I only need one. But other than that, it's a cool figure. I really like it. This one's probably my favorite in McFarlane's Doom collection so far. I still would like to see them do more demons. Hopefully they'll get to that eventually, because all they've done so far is the Marauder. And, aside from the iconic weapons, there's also all these iconic demons in the Doom franchise. Revenant's my top pick, so I'm hoping that they'll do that at least. Revenant and Hell Knight, probably Cacodemon, would be the 3 that I feel they need to do. You can get this guy exclusively on their website. I don't think he's going to be available anywhere else. He's just going to be exclusive to the McFarlane Toys website. I'll have that linked in the description down below. I don't know how available he's going to be since he's an exclusive. He might have just sort of a limited release. But, we'll see. That's going to do it for this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.